how do you say whatever in this language? And 5 minutes later, again, how do you say that? Because I totally forgot. It just because then you're relying on your conscious memory, but fortunately, it doesn't work that way. The fact that you're listening to it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to remember it. You just need repetitions, right? It's like exactly what you said. I'll always remember the first time I came to Poland. Like I used to ask my Polish friends, because again, that's what we all know. Like if you want to learn the language, you ask them, how do you say this or that? And I perfectly, vividly remember asking them about, I don't know what it was, but they told me what it meant, or how you say it in Polish. And 5 minutes later, I'd forgotten. 5 minutes later. I'm not talking about a month or no, 5 minutes later. And the funny thing is, it happened to everyone. And I continue to see that all the time. Like I like going to language events and reunions to speak other languages. And people are constantly asking, out of curiosity many times, which is good, but how do you say whatever in this language? And 5 minutes later, again, how do you say that? Because I totally forgot. It just because then you're relying on your conscious memory, but fortunately, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I can figure something 20 seconds later.
Exactly, yeah. Even if you perfectly understand what it means, or even if it's within the right or within the context of a story, the fact that you understand what it means doesn't mean that you're going to be able to produce it right away.
Yeah, right? It takes lots of exposure and the input, ideally during real communication with a focus on meaning with a low effective filter, etc., for this to really become what's called robustly represented.
Yeah. And I think it's important because I see a lot of people beat themselves up because of it. Because right, because they think once they understand what it means, or once they were told how you say a specific word or object or whatever, I don't know if consciously or subconsciously they believe they should be able to produce it. And when 5 minutes later they forget, they start to beat themselves up. Oh, what a memory I have, and things of that nature. It's not your fault. It happens to everyone. It's the way it works, you know.
And that might be influenced by a lot of traditional expectations of memorizing things and not making mistakes. So students are pushed heavily in those classes, like I was in high school. Like you're supposed to know this. Like I even had this one class in college where the professor, she showed us a ton of these new words all at once, one after the other, in an unknown, like a different writing system. And then right after that, she quizzed us on it. And if we didn't know something, I was like, well, I just showed you this. Why don't you know it? So that might be the most extreme example I've had. But yeah, I think that, like in my own classes, if students don't know something, I just give it to them. Like there's no pressure to remember things about language in my classes. I just, if they don't know something, I just tell them.
Yeah, exactly. It is that example might be an exaggeration, but it perfectly shows what we mean here. Yeah. And it may sound simplistic, but I think it's true. It's just if you don't know it, you don't know it. What I mean by that is, because it sounds too obvious, is there's no shortcut, right? Like either you already know it or you don't. And if you don't, it's nobody's fault. You just need more exposure or more repetition or to listen to more stories, right? And I'm talking about specific words or sentences or communication in general. If you can't yet, you can. You know, there's no way to hack the process. There's no shortcut. That's the main thing. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if that's the case, here you can find the whole interview in which we talked about plenty more things related to how languages are actually acquired. And finally, right here, you can smash this guy in the face to subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate that right hook. Bye-bye.